Hello, everyone. How are you this evening? It is amazing to have you tonight. Thank you for joining us on Get It Right with the Tara Solutions. We are honored, really honored to have you. And I can see person is Sabuni Roho for the Ugandans on the call or non-Swahili speaking audience. Money is soap to the heart. It can clean your heart, eh? Yes, so that is what we say here. And I say that because we had 27 people waiting at 7:50. Well, myself and the other team members were trying to just get our group together. So it's amazing to see you guys tonight again. Welcome to Get It Right with the Tara Solutions. We're excited to have you. And I will start by requesting my co-host Richard to introduce himself, and then we can continue, and then I'll introduce myself as I introduce our partners. Richard?
Thank you very much, Grace. How are you doing, moderator of choice? I hope you had a wonderful, wonderful day. It's always a delightful moment to be here to come and learn, especially today when we want to add more money into our wallet so that we can go to Mombasa, we can go to other places where to relax. My name is Richard J. Magoma. I am a human resource practitioner. I am a trainer. I specialize in interview preparation, public speaking, emceeing. That is why I'm co-hosting this particular episode. I appreciate your presence. Over to you, Grace.
Thank you for that intro, Richard. And we are very excited and we look forward to having you this weekend on Friday at the dinner where we will be meeting physically. I cannot wait. This is going to be lots of fun. And this is going to be our fourth event at the end of the year. And the reasons behind it is because we've been meeting virtually for the entire year. Get It Right with the Tara Solutions runs from, I think we started on 18th of January this year. And we end at the end of November. I think our last episode is in. We have 2 sessions to go after this one now. So we normally choose to do a meet and greet where we get to meet. I mean, after meeting an entire year virtually, it only makes sense to meet physically. And I know the Ugandans on the call have been complaining, when are we going to Uganda? I think that will be Project 2025, and we will be sure to be there. So thank you very much for joining us on Get It Right with the Tara Solutions. Allow me to give apologies. Our sign language interpreter is not able to join us today due to something else that came up, and she wasn't able to get out of. Nonetheless, we appreciate her services. Catherine Sidandi, our sign language interpreter, she helps us be inclusive, and we are hoping that she will be here to join us. She actually will be in town on Friday. So if you want to meet Catherine Sidandi, please come to Westwood Hotel on Eldama Ravine Road in Westlands here in Nairobi. My name is Grace Nzula. I'm the host of Get It Right with the Tara Solutions. I'm a HR consultant with the Tara Solutions. Now, Tara Solutions is a HR consulting and training firm. We offer 4 services. We offer HR manager outsourced. For those organizations that don't have a full-time HR, you can outsource your HR function to us. We also do HR consulting. HR consulting includes HR audits, review of your policies, updating of your policies. It involves looking into your job evaluations. It involves looking into your whatever service that you may need. You might need a one-off service where we come in and maybe relook your job descriptions or relook your documentation and just make sure that you're compliant. All those things we offer. We also offer training or learning and development where we focus on individuals and also corporates or other corporates, SMEs, and governments. And then we also do recruitment and selection. If you're looking for talent in your organization and you would wish to outsource that service, we will be happy to support you in that. So that is what Atara Solutions does. Now, Get It Right with Atara Solutions, it's a webinar series that seeks to demystify issues in employment and entrepreneurship. We do this every Tuesday from 8 p.m. to about 9 p.m. And we have been doing this for the last 4 years, and we're very, very excited to see another year go down. We are on season 6 because I think there's a year we did 2 seasons at once. We took a break and then came back. But I think the last 3 years we haven't taken a break, and it's been fulfilling. It's been very, very encouraging, and to know that we are making a difference. And I hope that you're benefiting from these sessions. Now, for us to be able to bring this every Tuesday, we also have partnered with a number of institutions. And allow me to just give them a shout out on this call, so that then next time we go to them, they'll be happy to partner with us. So we have Nile Front Cottages. Nile Front Cottages is cottages located in Jinja, Uganda. Now, if you're here from Kampala and you have never been to Nile Front Cottages, you really need to make the trip down this weekend, really. You need to just visit this place. And if you're in Kenya, it is actually just 2 hours drive from the Busia border, and you can actually fly there as well. You can fly to Entebbe and then take a trip down to Nile Front Cottages. Nile Front Cottages is located in Jinja, and about 5 minutes by boat to where you actually go, and to where, what do we call it? Something zero, where Lake Victoria meets River Nile. This is such a serene place. They have beautiful sunsets and sunrises. You would enjoy your stay at Nile Front Cottages. And better still, it's also run by my good friend. So please visit and support my friend. And we have El Samea. El Samea is a lodge located here in Kenya, in Nairobi, or rather in Naivasha. Elsa is actually a lion, and the place is named after a lion. It is such a beautiful place. You actually view the lake from your room. It is such an amazing place. If you're looking for a place of serenity where you can go, be silent, enjoy. For those of you who are planning end of year parties or team buildings, this is a place you can actually lock the entire place and just be your organization only. So you will get to enjoy the services. They have amazing cookies that they make that even if you go for a day trip, you'll be able to enjoy. Their food is amazing. It is just a beautiful place to be. And then we have K Square HR Services. K Square HR Services are our partners in Rwanda. If you're looking for HR services in Rwanda, they offer HR consulting and training services. K Square HR is located in Kigali, Rwanda. So if you're looking for partners in Kigali, then you want to go through K Square HR for your HR needs in Kigali, Rwanda. We have Profiles International. Profiles International are the only people who have the mandate to offer Genos emotional intelligence coaches. If you want to become an emotional intelligence coach, then I suggest you take your certification with Profiles International. I am one of their students, and I can tell you it has been one of the most life-changing lessons that I have taken, because it focuses on you. It focuses on how you can support others to get better and grow in the emotional intelligence. They are also offer psychometric assessment. So if you're looking for support in psychometric assessments, then Profiles International will be able to do that. And then we have Steadfast Quality Solutions. Steadfast Quality Solutions is an HR and public relations company located in Kampala, Uganda. This is run by my good friend, Mr. Herbert Zake. Mr. Herbert Zake is also a Gallup Strengths coach. He has coached more than 500 executives. So if you're here and you're looking for a coach who has experience, who has been there, done that, then you need to get in touch with Herbert Zake. And then Steadfast Quality Solutions for all your board trainings. If you have a board of governance or a board of directors who looking to be trained, then Steadfast Quality Solutions will be able to do that. If you're looking to do it the end of the year and maybe you have board evaluations, then they are also experts in that. We have AAR Insurance for all your insurance needs. If you're looking for medical insurance, if you're looking for WIBA, if you're looking for life insurance, then AAR will be able to give you that service. We have Labor Planet for all your labor outsourcing. For those of you who do manpower outsourcing, then Labor Planet will be your people. We have Capula Mintito. Capula Mintito also specialize in coastal snacks. If you're looking for cashew nuts, if you're looking for CMOS gel, if you're looking for honey, then Capula Mintito will be able to do that for you. We have Panessa Training Institute. Now, Panessa's Training Institute, in partnership with KCB Foundation, are actually offering scholarships this week. So there's a link that we had shared in the groups that we are in. for KCB Foundation in partnerships with Panessa Training Institute. If you know someone, and especially ladies, if you know anyone who wishes to become a carpenter or a woodworker, then they get full scholarship on learning. The only thing they need to do is probably find bus fare to come to school and also accommodation if they're out of Nairobi. Please send them. The interviews will be on Wednesday. Wednesday is tomorrow from 9 a.m. And they will be able to be interviewed. And if they are eligible for scholarship, then they will be offered. Please don't stay with the people in the house who have interest in woodworking and you don't know what to do with them. Then we have hotels. We have Wicklin. Wicklin is a carpet cleaning company. They offer 24-hour cleaning solutions. So if you have a carpet that needs pickup, please get in touch with Wicklin or with myself. Wicklin will be able to pick up your carpet and deliver within 24 hours. They also offer post-construction cleaning and also general office cleaning. We have Hotel Sapphire. Hotel Sapphire is a hotel located in Mombasa. Now, Hotel Sapphire have an awesome band. I am telling you, my people, if you ever find yourself in Mombasa on a Friday evening, please go and chill at Hotel Sapphire and enjoy that music in a cool, serene environment. They have accommodation and they have the most amazing coastal food I have ever eaten. To be honest, I've been to Mombasa severally and I've stayed in quite a number of hotels, but the food, especially their coastal food, oh my God. And then if you're looking for a circle, then Port Circle will be able to give you those services. If you're looking for a place to save, if you're looking for a place where you can save and then eventually borrow, then Port Circle will be able to support you on that. They have offices here. The head office is in Mombasa. Please take advantage of the offers and please mention to them that you heard from Get It Right and you will be eligible for discounts. And then we have services offered by my co-host, Richard Magoma. If you're going for an interview, please don't go without contacting Richard. He will be able to give you tailored strategies to answer the questions. He'll be able to teach you how to present yourself. He'll be able to tell you what global leaders are looking for. And he's going to also help you on how to create strong connections that build you. So get in touch with Richard and he'll be able to take you through your interview coaching. And then next week, we are going to Rwanda. We have the Africa Human Resource Summit that is happening from 20th to 22nd of November. If you haven't booked, they actually have very special discounts from Rwanda. If you're in Rwanda, they have Uganda Air is also offering discounts. Kenya Airways is also offering discounts. Please come and join us. It's going to be a gathering of HRs from the entire of Africa. Please come one, come all, and let's make Africa great. And then my favorite announcement of this evening, we have the dinner happening this Friday. Yay! I'm very excited about this one. If you have ever heard Johan Kim speak, he's from South Korea and he does an amazing job on changing your mindset. This one, I am telling you, will be life altering. Like I'm telling you, by the time you leave there, your decisions for next year will be very well informed. And then we have an amazing panel discussion. We have a panelist who is presenting a business community. We have a panelist who is representing, of course, HRs, because I mean, we can't help it. I know most of the people there are HRs. And then we have business people who are coming. And then we have a coach who will be supporting us in all the other, probably the other aspects, because a coach will be able to walk with you this journey. And then, of course, we have myself, we have Richard and Catherine Sidandi, who will be in the house. Come meet us, come enjoy, come learn how to take your game to the next level. We are really going through tough times. But even in tough times, it's probably the best time to grow because we need to get out of our comfort zones. And this conversation will be leading us to that. Get your groove on, get an African touch. That is the dress code, just African touch. Even if it's earrings for the ladies, even if it's a pocket kerchief for the men, even if you want to go into the entire African regalia, that's up to you. But dress code is a touch of African. Please come one, come all. Let's have an amazing night of learning physically and engaging with one another. So I'm looking forward to meeting you on that day. So at this point in time, allow me to welcome Madam Sylvia, who will actually take us through money market fund. We had the honor of having Mr. Bob Karina 2 weeks ago. If you missed that session, it was on bonds and treasury bills. It was amazing. Now, tonight we're discussing money markets fund, and with us is Sylvia Kimani, who is from CIC Insurance. Sylvia, please take it away.
Oh, wow. What a joy to be part of you this evening, and all the energy that I can see. I'm amazed about the participants. You're so many people. I hope you had a wonderful day and that we will have a wonderful session even as we proceed. So forgive me from time to time where I am, the lights are disappearing. So in case there's a blackout, I'm still with you. Just bear with me. So in the interest of time, I'd like to stop sharing my video so that I can at least share my screen, if that's okay with you. Please confirm that you can see my screen, Grace.
Yes, we can see your screen.
Thank you very much. So I'm happy to hear that all the presenters, that the people who are here with us are from various sectors and are from across East Africa. That is very, very amazing. Happy to be a part of this and happy to be a part of your evening. So I'll delve right into it and just talk about what we have as money market funds. I'm not too sure how far we go, but I know for a fact that this is something that has been in existence for quite some time, but the industry is not known as well as it should be. And that is why I am here today, just to highlight on this. So let us first look at what we have for you today. And please bear with me. Thank you. So as you can see in my jar, what we have is money, at least as an icon, just to set us through this evening. And one of the people who is key or known for money is Robert Kiyosaki. I know most of you have read his books. And one of his sayings is that it's not how much money you make, but how much you keep, how hard it works for you, and how many generations you keep it for. We are Africa, and Africa is how we do it. So I know we are really interested in investing for the future of our children. So let us start by talking about what financial planning is, because you can't delve into investments without talking about financial planning. This is where it all starts. This is a process that helps you make sensible decisions about money to be able to achieve your goals. So this could be long-term, where you get financial security for you and your loved ones. So what would we need to do to be able to create a financial plan? We start with what we call a goal. You cannot be investing without an agenda at hand. So this could be you're saving maybe towards a project, or you are putting money aside to acquire passive income, or you'd want to be able to retire. So your goal could vary from person to person, but it doesn't mean that your goals are not important. They are important to you. The next thing we need to consider is your time horizon. Would you want to invest for a short period of time, a medium period of time, or a long term? So all these are very important in as far as financial planning is concerned, so that you can be able to understand the kind of investment that would be ideal for you. And of course, also dependent on your needs. The next thing you would need to assess is what your current financial position is. Could you be in debt? What is your liquidity level? And by liquidity level, I mean near cash instruments. Do you have fixed assets? So fixed assets could be either property, which is land, or a home, or maybe assets you have acquired that are more long-term in as far as being able to access is concerned. And finally, what is your net worth? So you would need to also understand what your risk profile is. Are you a conservative investor, a moderate investor, or aggressive in terms of investment risk? So you can see a gentleman here who represents each and every person here, I would like to believe. So this person is busy just trying to figure out, they have their earnings, they have their money, but they would like to be able to figure out what to do with this money. One of the things that we always try to figure out is how much are we paying for rent? How much do we need to be able to shop to get by through the month? How much do we need to pay in as far as utilities are concerned? How much would we need to save? If you have a debt, how much would you want to be able to pay? And of course, after you have saved, how much you can invest. This gentleman here represents the average earning or working adult's life who tries to juggle a balance in life. And all you need to do is have an effective thought process around your money by budgeting accordingly. So we have this rule in budgeting, which is a 50-30-20 rule. It starts with your needs. Needs are the core of our well-being. The rest we can do without, but the needs are one of the things that we really can't do without. So in our needs, these are more of recurrent expenditures or bills. So this could be paying maybe for a home loan if you have a mortgage. This could be for shopping, just upkeep of your monthly or daily use. It could be for your utilities, like electricity bills and water or phone. It could also be for your movement, transport. If you have a job, just to be able to get by. If you need to drive a car, just to be able to get to work. These are the core or key pillars of the needs. And this eats into at least 50% of what you make or what you earn. The next percentage is 30%, which basically represents wants. So this involves spending on things that you desire as a human. In Kenya, we say, kuambia mwili asanti. So to tell yourself, thank you for all the hard work that you're doing. So this could include maybe going out with your family just to dine once in a while, or traveling. So, or whatever hobbies you take up. So these ones should actually take up 30% of what it is that you earn so that you can be able to keep going in life. The final percentage is 20%, which is where we come in, where you would need to at least save 20% and invest for the future. This is in instruments like what I will be talking about today, the money markets, and as you were spoken to about T-bills and bonds and or real estate. So why should we save? We save because we have needs, and we save because emergencies come up. We save because we want to live a comfortable life. We save because we have maybe projects that we want to work towards. So it really depends on what it is that you are trying to achieve. So the most important part is to have an effective thought process around this. This means you would need to tie your savings to your financial goals. If maybe you're working towards a home, let that be your goal. This is the year 2024. Maybe you purpose to have a home in the next 5 years. Then you tie it to that. If you're trying to build up on business capital, then you can also tie your financial goal to that. Or maybe even just save up for a wedding or a retirement. The next thing we'd need to do is learn from the spending of our lives. So this means the life cycles that we go through. For those with children or who go to school themselves, on the regular, you pay school fees in terms, or you can save up for your holiday for the same, or maybe even membership for clubs and or subscriptions. The next thing you need to do is automate. So if you practice a saving consistency, if you're not able to do that, you can enter into a checkup system. And I'm happy to hear that most of you are HR here and or the HR practitioners who can confirm this. You can get into a checkup system with your company or a standing order, which would help you be able to set aside money to achieve what it is that you're saving towards. Then the next thing you need to do is regulate or access savings by getting the discipline. If you're not able to put aside money and withhold from withdrawing, then maybe you can get into a fixed deposit account or a joint account where someone else can hold you accountable not to be able to access the same. And also from time to time, take advantage of sales. Here in Kenya, we have what we call Black Fridays, or like in the month of November, we have Black November. You can buy and stock up on things or items which have a long lifespan, and you can be able to buy and save up on. Now, one of the things that we really need to do, even as we make investments, is have what we call an emergency fund. So an emergency fund is something that keeps you afloat. It helps you minimize unexpected expenses and helps you reduce financial stress or burdens that can come up. So what are some of the urgencies or emergencies that come up without expectation? One of them could be healthcare, either for yourself or for your loved one. And as you know, as you're socialized in Africa, we really want to take care of our own. So anytime one of your family members or your loved ones is unwell, the first thing you'd want to do is reach out to them and take care of them. The other thing that could be an emergency in our lives is, God forbid, job loss, which seems to be happening quite a bit. You need to prepare for this. And that is what an emergency fund would take care of. The other thing is maybe home repairs or a car that has had a few challenges here and there that were unexpected. Now, how do we manage our money, or how do we manage our finances? The first thing you need to do is prioritize and be very strict on the limits of spending by noting what your expenses are. So you develop a mindset, secondly, that you can learn to manage your money. It all starts with the mind. Once you believe in that, you'll be able to live well and below your means or below your income. Next, you will need to track and plan your finances. So try and spend less than you earn and avoid excessive debt. Adjust your household spending plan according to the budget that you have set aside. Then make compounding interest your friend. How do you do this? You start by investing really early. For the people who start maybe during their first jobs, they enjoy a wealth of building, but it doesn't mean that wherever you start from, you cannot build something that is substantial. So you invest early and frequently. You can do daily investments. You could do weekly investments or monthly investments. The most important thing is a discipline just to build up on what it is that you're saving towards. So save and invest regularly. This means make a habit of what you're regularly saving, at least 10 to 20% of your earnings. Deposit it into instruments like mutual funds, like the MFF, which I'll be talking about. Then develop a personal asset allocation strategy. This means you divide your investment portfolio among various classes, from the bonds, the real estate, to money markets, but basically in instruments which provide a steady and safe income. Then know what your risk tolerance level is. So carefully choose a stable investment. And this is not despite the market conditions. You should be very careful anytime to make sure you do what we call due diligence, even as you are investing. Then keep your investment portfolio diversified. This means that you would need to spread your risk by having various asset classes. This helps you mitigate investment risk and can be achieved by having various portfolios. So now, unit trust is a pooled investment, and this is where money market falls under. So unit trust is the umbrella, and money markets rather are products within the unit trust fund. So this is a pooled investment which allows investors to combine their cash and to invest the same. This offers investors an affordable way to spread and diversify their portfolios. It also gives you as an investor an opportunity to have a financial stake in various or different asset classes. These investments could include bonds, they could include real estate or cash deposits. So as we speak in the industry, as you can see on the graph there, in the year 2018, we were slightly above 50 billion, say about 60 billion as assets under management that are being held in the industry. But over time, there has been a growth. And of course, the growth means that the uptake is very high and that this is being received well. So as at 2023, the industry was at above 210 billion, But by now, in the year 2024, the industry is currently at about 250 billion assets under management. So please do not be left out in this avenue. So what are money markets? Which is why we're here. Money markets is an investment, or rather a pool of capital. So this could be our money as individuals, or money as groups, or money as companies. We come together. The investments are done in short-term or low risk instruments, such as the bills, commercial papers, or bank deposits. This offers you as an investor a safe place for you to park your money while earning a return on investment. This makes it ideal for anybody who is seeking some level of stability, or for anyone who's at the entry level and would want to get something out of the investment. In East Africa, particularly here in Kenya, these money market funds have gained quite a bit of prominence. And this is because these are very viable options where people feel that they are able to access the money as and when they need it. All this is regulated by Capital Markets Authority, and these funds ensure transparency and investor protection, which is really key for each of us. So what are the features of these particular funds? One, they offer what we call capital preservation, which means that the principal remains intact. The amount invested is made sure that the risk is, these particular funds are suitable for people who are risk averse. These are people who are not willing to take risk, or people who are starting to invest. And this is very important because we work really hard for our money. The one thing we don't want to do is see our money lose value or go down at any point. The next thing is liquidity. What is liquidity? This is being able to access the funds within a very short period of time, whilst giving you the flexibility to meet your needs. There's no point in having money, then it cannot help you when you are in need. That's a really key feature for the money markets. You need to be able to have an investment, and when you have a need, you can be able to access it. The returns are pretty modest, but they are typically higher than what is offered in a savings, or rather a traditional savings account. What happens is that whatever is invested, it is calculated on a daily basis. And then whatever interest is earned from the number of days you invested is credited at the end of the month. And the interest offered here is what we call compounded interest. There's also a safety feature in these particular funds, because most of the funds are invested in government securities, bank deposits, and or cash near instruments. So the risk levels are very, very low. Now, all this cannot be done without a proper structure. This structure is basically a legal framework, and not to make it sound like a big word, but you as an investor would be considered a unit holder. So you provide the financial resources for the investments to be done. Then this money that you deposit into a custody account. So a custodian is actually a bank. So depending on the bank that the financial or fund manager has chosen, you deposit money into that account. This custodian makes sure that the funds are held safely and they're safeguarded. All they do is allocate the assets according to the instructions that they're given by a fund manager. And who is a fund manager? This is the person who manages the investments that you have made or the portfolio that is currently being held. So one of their key features or their roles is administration work, which is where you come in. When you need your statements, you're able to send it. Marketing, distribution of the investments. So all this fund manager does is to make sure that the investments are being put in the asset classes that are appropriate for you to get a competitive return. Then we have the trustee, who is actually a custodian, or rather makes sure that your assets are safeguarded, or rather your interests as a unit holder are taken care of. They comply according to a trust deed, and a trust deed is a legal document that establishes a trust between all these parties that you can see and helps outline their duties. Then we have an auditor, and this auditor examines and evaluates the prepared financial statements, because all these investments have to have a clear way or transparent way as to which they prove where the monies are and what is going on. So they evaluate and examine the financial statements offered within reason and make sure that they are free from material misstatement in case of any errors or fraud. So basically, this is the structure of how the investment works. And you need to know that these are not just things that are done haphazardly. So what is the aim of a money market? A money market aims to preserve your capital, which means that it makes sure whatever is invested, that there is no loss of the principal, that whatever is invested as the initial amount remains intact. Then the other feature it has is that it caters for inflationary protection. So inflationary protection means it's hedging against the rise of goods and services. Let me give you an example. What could one buy at, say, 1,000 Kenya shillings, or equivalent of, say, 250,000 Uganda shillings, cannot be the same of what you can procure today. Back then, 10 years ago, you could buy perhaps 10 items. The same amount of money today would be equivalent to 1,700 shillings to be able to buy you whatever you would buy at 1,000 shillings 10 years ago. So this particular feature caters for inflationary protection for your money. Now, where is Kenya's inflation as we speak today? Please take note of the red line. It shows where we have been from 2019 to 2023. So investments should make sure that they are above the inflationary rate. Why? Because you'd want to be able to have purchasing power for your money. So money markets offer above, have been offering above between 4 to 5% from 2029 to 2023, have been offering between above 4 to 5% in terms of rate. So the investment that you make is already catering for inflation, and whatever rate is above that is what you can consider again. So what happens is, if you just have money lying idle, or you have taken money, assuming, and you've put it under a pillow, and you haven't done or used any of that money, it is already losing value, because on a monthly basis, there is what inflationary rate is issued out by your government. So what you aim to do is to invest to protect your money, for it to secure the value it should, to be able to have its own use, for you to be able to buy goods and or services for the same. So what do we do at CIC, and what is our money market fund? So this is still a fund that offers a convenient, low-cost way of investing. It's still a pool that is very conservative, and the risk exposure for clients is very low. We invest the same. We give you a return on investment. We encourage individuals to invest, as I had said earlier. We encourage chamas or groups to invest, you as a family, as a company, and offer competitive returns. So what are the benefits of investing in a money market fund? One, it allows you capital preservation, as I had said. You can access liquidity. You can easily access your funds. You get competitive returns of investment. The safety of the investment due to investing in government securities. There's accessibility for you as a retailer or an investor. It also encourages you to have a saving culture, and finally, to have financial inclusion.
Sylvia.
Yes. Yes. Grace? Okay.
Sorry, you can go on. We had lost you for like 30 seconds, but it's fine. I think we can move on. That's okay. And let me say, I've seen a few questions on the chat. Please put them on the Q&A so that we can follow through. There's a lot of messaging on the chat. So if you can just put them on the Q&A it will be easier for us to pick up. Go ahead, continue kindly, Sylvia.
Okay, thank you for that. And apologies. So the risk profile is low. The investments that we make are low risk, and we make sure that we diversify the portfolio. It's never good to have one concentrated area of investment. It's always important to spread your risk by cutting across various instruments. So the investments that we make are within bank deposits, on call or fixed deposits, treasury bills, or bonds. And the minimum investments that we have or we can take in are as low as Kenya shillings 5,000. And as I had mentioned earlier, it is important to keep growing your fund. So the minimum that you could add on or top up is 1,000 shillings. The returns themselves are accrued daily and compounded on a monthly basis. And the interest rates that we quote are net of management fees. And the rates that we offer are published. We're very transparent. They're published on a daily basis on the local dailies. The management fee is usually 2%, but for whatever rate we're offering to you, we've already deducted that fee. The communication that we have with you is on the regular. So we usually send statements to you on a monthly basis and fact sheets so that you're able to see where we are placing or investing the funds. And you can just have a look at what it is that you would feel comfortable around. Accessibility for this particular fund is quite convenient. We allow withdrawal processes from within 2 to 4 working days. We actually allow withdrawal by M-Pesa, so the fund in itself is pretty convenient, but the M-Pesa withdrawal is within 2 days. What have been our returns in the recent past? As far back as 2022, on average, we did about 8.73. And in 2023, about 9, slightly below 10%. And as we speak, our current offering is at about 13.5%. Now, this is a tabulation of a figure. I have ambitiously used 10 million shillings. And this is in faith of the kind of investors that we're talking to today, at an average of about 13% as a return. So if you can walk with me in the first month, I need you to understand how the compounding effect works. In the first month, it attracted an interest of 107,143 shillings. Please note that this interest is subject to tax, which is something that is cut across for all financial service industries. And the withholding tax is usually 15% on the interest earned. So after we deduct the tax, the balance is about 91,071 shillings. So come the second month, the 10 million, we add the balance of the 91,000 to the 10 million for that to earn interest. So if you notice the principal column, it keeps increasing from what you initially had at the very top of the first month. And the interest is also increasing from the first month at 107. If you compare, the 6th month is at 112,000, that by the time you get to the 12th month, it's at 118. So what you can expect to have earned as interest from the 10 million is about 1.3 million. After tax, about 1.14 million. So when you come to take your money, assuming you would want to access it, you would not just be getting 10 million, you would be getting 11,149,000 shillings. I hope that is something that excites at least 1 or 2 people here. So the other fund that we have is a wealth fund, which is also a money market fund. But in this particular fund, we fix clients, and the minimum investment allowed is about 5 million shillings, and the minimum top up is 1 million shillings. All this I'm talking about is in Kenya shillings. So once you come to us, we offer competitive return, and we preserve your capital, of course. We agree what tenure you'd want. We offer 3 months, 4, 6 months, 9 months, or a year, depending on what we're offering at the time. I would be happy to have that conversation and just engage with you and let you know what we're offering at the time. The other fund we have that is also a money market is a dollar fund. The only difference between this and the Kenya shilling is that the currency is in dollars. So for this particular fund, the investment also is low risk. We preserve your capital, and we invest in various instruments, from bank deposits to Eurobonds, at least to be able to offer you a competitive return. The management fee for this particular fund is slightly less. It's at about 1.5%, but all other services remain the same. You can access the funds easily within 2 to 4 days and access statements on the regular. The minimum investment allowed for this particular fund is $1,000, and you're allowed to top up. The minimum you can add on is $100. So please feel free to invest in the same. Don't ever leave your money idle in the bank. So why would you invest with CIC? We pride ourselves in being the biggest fund manager in the country and in East Africa. And we hold over 145 billion Kenya shillings as assets under management from both unit trust and pension schemes. Being a market leader, we appreciate the support that we have received from our clients and the goodwill that we have received. I believe that we keep growing because there's something that has sets us apart, or there's something that people see or feel that we are doing differently that appeals to them. So we thank God for the journey and hope that each and every one of you would want to be a part of us. So what kinds of returns do we offer? Competitive, of course. And why should you join us or trust us with your money? One thing is that we're a listed company in the Nairobi Securities Exchange. So we make sure, and we have a reputation to uphold, that we have good governance and that we have a board of directors that is independent and makes sure that everything that we are doing is above board. That said, mine as a parting shot is to urge you that one of the most important keys to success is discipline. Everything starts with discipline. Once you know what you want, you should go ahead and do even what you don't feel like doing. So money markets in East Africa, and especially in this country, offer a balanced investment avenue by combining both liquidity, capital preservation, and reasonable returns. Investors, as you and I, are able to access through individual fund features and make sure that always check the historical performance of a fund manager, and always make sure that you align your choices with your personal financial goals and cater for your risk tolerance. As Albert Einstein once said, compound interest is the 8th wonder of the world. He who understands it earns it. He who does not pays for it. That is it from me. Thank you very much.
Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Thank you so much. Somebody is saying share the contact for registration as well. And I must say, I've been with CIC Money Markets, I think, for the last 3 or 4 years. And I can say that I'm a happy customer thus far. So I am happy to be associated with CIC Money Markets Fund. So yes, and I agree, make money by doing nothing. I cannot wait to get there. But my brain is so active. If I sit back, I think my brain will just tell me to go out. Nonetheless, I love the money. So we can probably take a couple of questions. Is that okay, Sylvia?
Yes, that's quite all right. Let me get my notebook.
Okay, all right. So thank you very much. That I think was very, very enlightening, and we are happy to know that we can actually invest, and that is very, very insightful. I can see Terry saying she has really benefited from money markets for a while, and then I have just self-registered on the CIC Money Market Fund. How long will it take to get me the logins? I think we will get to answer that. So thank you very much. I think that was amazing, amazing. And Sylvia, are you ready? Can I start shooting the questions?
Yes, please do. And thank you, everyone.
Okay. So what is this? Wanjao is saying, what was the annual inflation rate in 2023? Sylvia, did you hear me? Richard, confirm you can hear me.
Yes,
Sylvia,
Grace,
you're on
I can.
mute. I've just
Grace,
noticed
I
she's
can
on
hear you.
mute. Thank you. Sylvia, you're on mute if you're speaking.
I was talking to myself, sorry. The average rate was about 6.1%.
All right. And then does money market have a private pension scheme?
Well, that's like a two-in-one question. Money market and pension are two different products. So pension is separate from what money markets are. Money market being flexible, pension being a more long-term investment and or life plan.
Right. And what is the current CIC money market fund rate of return? That's from Florence.
Currently, we're offering an annualized yield of 13.5%.
Okay. What is the difference between a fund manager and a fund administrator? From Simon Frank in Tanzania.
So that's pretty much the same. We also do administration work. It's only that we prefer to call ourselves fund managers.
All right. And somebody's saying, how do you calculate the management fee?
So what it means is that instead of us offering you a return of, say, 15.5%, what we do, we deduct that that is on top and give you what is yours, instead of having to tell you that we will give you 15.5% and then we have a management fee of 2% and then you're subject to withholding tax. That might be a bit too much math for not some of us to take in. So we deduct it from the fund itself, but you as an investor don't get to feel it at all, because for what we declare, we've already deducted.
All right. There's somebody who is saying, okay. I don't think, somebody is saying, who is your custodian and trustee?
Yes, our custodian is Cooperative Bank, and our trustee is Kenya Commercial Bank, KCB.
All right.
And our auditor is Cooper House.
All right. Max is saying, I have lost money. Or rather principal amount from a unit trust as I had an emergency to take care of. Is unit trust under MMF?
So it's the other way around. MMF is under unit trust. So unit trust is the umbrella, and then MMF is a fund under unit trust. Now, perhaps you invested in a high risk, high return investment, which involves shares. So I would need finer details on that just to be able to assist you.
Yeah, I thought so, because I don't think I've not lost money and I have withdrawn. I must say, CIC gives you the return, or rather, when you want to withdraw some amount, it's very, very effective. It's quite fast. Can MMF be used as an avenue for table banking with government scrutiny on mobile wallets or personal accounts being very high, especially for civil servants? How can a group utilize this avenue, considering that table banking concept is money in, money out every month?
So it is possible. We're actually trying to come up with a way to have individuals or other groups invest and be able to see how much each member has invested. So once we fine-tuned that, we'll roll it out and communicate to our clients or generally the public. So I think it would be a great avenue, because you can have made something in between when you're making your collections, just before you make payments or before one asks for whatever they want to take up as a debt. So that's a good thought. We can borrow.
Yeah, I think so. Why is it that the CIC interest isn't growing with the rate that other MMF are growing? Given that the CIC MMF started long before majority of the competitors in the market started, should it stand at a benefit to offer its customers better returns, probably above 15%? Please tell us where they're giving you more. I did not know that there was more. But go ahead.
So what happens is, whenever the size of the fund is really big, it takes time for it to move. If you noticed, as the year began, the rates were at anywhere between 8 to 9% at the beginning of the year. They just shot up abruptly in the middle of the year, just when the government decided to start borrowing. So what happens is most of these new players took advantage of that because that's when they came in. And then the size of their fund is really, really small. So they have the advantage of putting money into that. But the bigger the size of the fund, it takes really long to liquidate and invest in these long-term investments. Like I said, it is like pushing an elephant towards or up a hill or towards the mountain. But the same way it takes long to push the elephant up is the same way it takes the elephant long to go down. And therefore, that's what helps us to be able to offer stable rates. If you notice, our rates are not volatile. We don't offer a high rate and then in 2 days it's dropped down. What we offer is stability. And the thing we are very keen on is being prudent with your money. We don't want to offer you the world, the moon, and the stars, and then lose your money. It is very important to us to make sure that your money is safe. We'd rather give you a moderate return, but make sure that your money is secure.
All right. There's somebody. Okay. So Arbanas Mue, I hope I got your name right. We already did a session on treasury bonds or on bonds and treasury bills. Please go to our YouTube channel. It's Get It Right with Atara Solutions. I've seen the same question from Judith. Unfortunately, our speaker then had no slides. So it was, he spoke from his mind, which was really cool. But you can find the recording on our YouTube channel, Get It Right with Atara Solutions, and you can get to update yourself on those too. Yeah, so from Linda, for a beginner investor, what's a good amount to put in for reasonable return?
Well, Linda, can I say that one man's meat? So one's ability on where you're starting. For someone who's a beginner, we always say 5,000, but you see, maybe 5,000 would not have an impact in your life. Maybe your abilities is higher than that. So for whatever you are able to start with, just work with our minimum, but always start with more so that you can grow and enjoy higher returns. Of course, the more the money that you have, the more that you're going to enjoy. You cannot compare someone who has 10,000 vis-a-vis someone who has 100,000 against someone who has 1 million. So depending on what you're working towards, and that's why I mentioned the goal, always start with what you can. Just don't work with our minimums. If you have more, invest.
Catherine is asking, is 13.5% before or after tax?
Before tax.
Mukunya is saying, reconfirm the deductions on the example provided. Hey. Okay. How much would you say is enough in one's account to invest in bonds?
You can work with the 150 or 100,000 if you're going to the government way.
Yeah, I think our former speaker had said they can do 50,000 or something like that on the bonds. Yeah. Then would you kindly elaborate on how to get the dollar MMF?
So for all our funds, all you need to do is just register online and attach a few requirements that are usually keyed in there. So as an individual, you just need a copy of your ID or passport, passport photo, PIN certificate, and your bank proof. Then once you do that, you're done with the registration process, we'll be able to open the account for you and you can start investing. And the minimum investment being $1,000.
Okay. What is the difference between a standard collective investment and a special collective investment, and where does CIC fall?
So CIC falls under a collective investment. A standard one would be more of a regulated, almost like an umbrella fund, where you have some stipulated amount that is deposited by members. But for the collective investment schemes, this is a bit more flexible and open to what individuals are able to put aside and or save.
All right. Dr. Shikanda, I see you. I see your comment. I will be happy to share your number with the Sylvia. And Sylvia, people are asking for your contacts as well. Now, there's a question. How do you compare fixed bank deposits and MMF?
One thing, and good question, the MMF in itself is a flexible fund while offering you a more competitive return. So the difference between the two is that for a money market fund, you enjoy compounded interest. This is an interest on interest effect. For a fixed deposit, you only enjoy simple interest. And by simple interest, I mean, if you have done a deposit of 100,000, you will only be paid interest on the 100,000 at the end of the term. And if you want to access your money before the agreed term limit of investment, then you are either penalized or you lose out on the interest that you otherwise would have earned. But the flexibility in the money market is such that for as long as you're invested and have earned something, you will not be penalized should you want to access the money and will enjoy compounding effects.
All right. And before I ask my next question, Richard, do you have one?
Not yet, not yet. I'm soaking in the information that she's giving us. But what I can be able to see right now is there's a very huge appetite for this kind of information. Remember the kind of floods that we had when we were talking about treasury and now money market. It looks like we really need a whole day somewhere in a good restaurant or hotel so that we can dissect these concepts more, so that we can have money to go to places that you have mentioned in sponsorships.
Yeah, I agree. Sylvia, I don't know whether you are able to put your contact details on the chat.
Yeah, sure, I can be able to do that. And I can be able to guide most of everyone who is asking on how to log in or how to register. And for those who have logged in, we usually are able to create your account within 24 hours. So we've gone digital all the way. What we have is a link, but I'm happy to assist you should you get stuck or should something take longer than it actually should. So I'm sharing my contact details right away. And thank you for listening in so keenly. You're such great students.
Thank you. And my colleagues in Kampala are wondering, does this apply to them as well?
Yes, we allow diaspora clients. They are not closed out on investing with us. In fact, we are hoping to be able to open a branch in Uganda, but we'll be happy to update them once we do. But in the meantime, they can start off. Yeah.
Please call me for the opening ceremony. I need to attend that one.
Right. We'll be sure to extend the invite.
So there's another question on how do I open an account with CIC?
Through a link that I'll be happy to share with you. Please drop me a chat or a text and I can share with you the link.
And then Penina is saying, can we have a joint account under money markets?
Yes, of course, you can. You can open the account as 2 people, 3 people. You are open to invest jointly, individually, as a chama, a registered group. However way you would want to invest, you're free to do so.
Can you invest as a business?
Yes, you can.
Like
you end up
Solutions
filling
open.
a corporate form. Yes, you end up filling a corporate form. So we receive everyone as an investor. No one is locked out.
Okay. Does CIC trade in binary options?
No, unfortunately, we don't. Like I mentioned, we're regulated by Capital Markets Authority. We have not been mandated to do that as of now.
Okay. Somebody is saying, kindly share the link here. Jacinta, if you can hear me, as Sylvia is tapping her link. Okay. Jacinta, somebody on the chat is asking, please send, or rather, what is your YouTube page? It is Get It Right with the Tara Solutions. Jacinta will be happy to share the link. Get It Right with Tara Solutions is our YouTube channel. You can catch up on the session on on what do we call it? On bonds and T-bills. What options are there for young investors? That's a very good question. I was actually thinking my son's savings need to come to CIC. Sylvia, what options are there for young investors, like kids under 18 without an ID?
Oh, coincidentally, we allow students to invest. We allow junior members to invest. So all you would need to do is open a junior account. Of course, give your children's names and their birth certificates attached, so they can start as early as now and still enjoy this competitive return. They're not locked out on the return.
Okay, and for them, the starting shillings is 5,000 still?
No, it's 1,000 shillings.
And for students, there's somebody who was asking what's the rate for students?
They enjoy the same rate.
Of 1,000 bob?
They enjoy the same rate of return.
Okay. No, like what is the minimum? Like the beginning?
The minimum is 1,000 shillings.
For students as well?
Yes.
Okay. I hope that has cleared that. Have you gotten the link to join?
Yes, I'm attaching it right now.
Okay. And then Philip is asking, can someone have both dollar account and Kenya shillings account?
Yes, you can have as many accounts as you like.
Okay. I see you have posted for panelists. Let me just copy and paste that. There's the link to join CIC registration. There's another question here, which probably will be our last, from Patrick. This is why I like questions on the Q&A. Yeah, Patrick Nzuki, university student starting amount. That is people who are over 18, but are in uni.
Yes, still 1,000 shillings. They're very considerate.
So they have to come and prove that they are students, like with a student's ID or something.
Yes, they usually have a student's ID. So they register as students. There's a student link for that.
Okay, excellent.
We're trying to encourage a saving culture.
Wow, that's amazing. That's really, really amazing. So allow me to also remind you that there is a dinner coming up, and please register. Jacinta, if you can share the link. Are you seeing we have an amazing conversation this Friday? It's going to be physical. We have Mr. Johan Kim from South Korea who will be delivering a conversation around change of mindset for success. And then we have a panel discussion that involves a coach who does coaching for those who want to up-level their careers and their businesses. We have a business owner who will be speaking to the business people in the room. And then we have a HR expert who will also be addressing the HRs in the room. So come one, come all. And I hope, Sylvia, you'll be back to attend this dinner. Karibu sana. And of course, myself, Richard, and Catherine Sidandi as the host of Get It Right will be there. Karibuni sana. And Jacinta, I hope you have posted the link for joining, or rather for registration. Please come. Just get your touch of African and let's do this on Friday at Westwood Hotel in Nairobi. Sorry, but do you from Pascal? Sorry, but do you upgrade once you finish your course at the university, or you proceed with it as it is? Sylvia?
Sorry, so they would need to then now graduate, because at least now they would have a PIN certificate. So they would need to graduate by opening now a more upgraded individual account.
Okay. And then what are the requirements for groups?
Registered groups or non-registered groups, it counts. So for non-registered groups, it's the ones I had mentioned for the individuals, only that now the joint members are the ones who will give out a copy of their IDs each, a passport photo each, PIN certificate each, and now one bank account. We can only accommodate one. If it's a registered group, then we would need various documents. That is the PIN for the company, certificate of incorporation or certificate of registration, and bank account statement, minutes where you resolve to invest with us, the signatories, copies of ID, passport photo for each of the signatories. Yeah, we need quite a bit of documents for a corporate group, but all within reason.
Yes, someone was. I think you can get in touch with Sylvia. She should be able to guide you. And those who are asking for us to share the number we have, and she should be able to share with you and the link for registration, because she says it's for registered groups. I don't know whether that adds.
Yes, I mentioned that the registered groups would be now corporate, which is what I mentioned at length. But please feel free to engage me. I would be happy to assist you.
Sylvia, can you hear me?
You were hanging at some point, but now I can.
Okay. Somebody is saying, what do I need to consider before settling for the company to invest with? Because we have several vendors, but I have to know who I'm investing with quite well. What are the factors to consider?
One, historical performance. Secondly, the soundness of the organization. And then, of course, the size of the organization. And security. If you can just get testimonials or reviews from people who have tried and tested, that is also very important. But always check the soundness and the assets that they hold.
Okay. And then somebody is saying, kindly share your email.
Okay, doing that right away.
All right. So as she shares that, and I'm just thinking now it's time to allow her to give us her parting shots. And then we can now take this further for consultation and decision making. And now I believe you're more informed on matters this. Okay, so final question, is there a management fee for a student's MMF account?
Yes, most definitely. But like I mentioned, it's subject to the same return as we're offering every other person. So we deduct the 2%. But the initial investment, whatever they invest, is intact.
All right. So yeah, your parting shot, Sylvia.
So thank you very much for the opportunity. You're all such pleasant people. It's been a joy to join you. I didn't expect such numbers, but the numbers are very encouraging. Please keep up with this momentum. And I hope that you're going to be able to do great things. Your thirst for investments and the knowledge is amazing. This is what keeps us going and keeps us enjoying what we do. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sylvia. But there's a final question. I think we missed it. I can confirm that I receive monthly statements, but not the fact sheet. Where can I access this?
Estanderito, please feel free to engage me and I can share your member number, then I can send you the fact sheets. Sorry about that.
Okay, I think they just send the statements monthly. I don't think I've also ever received a fact sheet. Maybe that's something CIC needs to look into. All right, somebody saying, please share a copy of the presentation. Richard, your contact details you've put on host and panelists, not to everyone. Yeah, so thank you very much, our audience. I hope you have learned something, and I hope this has been a highlight for you. Please follow us on Instagram, like our Facebook page. We are both Atara Solutions. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, Get It Right with Atara Solutions. Please go to that YouTube channel. There's so much information. Imagine information for the last 4 years, whether you are a professional, whether you're a business owner, whether you are figuring out your life right now. Please go to our YouTube channel and you'll find a lot. As well, join us on Friday for the physical meetup, which will be happening at Westwood Hotel from 5 o'clock. Please come one, come all. Interact with us and interact with speakers and just get to learn. We are gearing up for 2025. Let's learn, let's engage, and let's continue building our careers and our businesses. So thank you so much, Richard, for your partnership. Thank you to everybody. Thank you, CIC, as well. My good friend Mwenda for linking me up with Sylvia. We really appreciate you, Herbert Zake. Well, thank you so much for your wonderful work and for bringing Uganda closer home. We appreciate you. Please join our Facebook or rather our WhatsApp group to know what's coming up on Get It Right with Atara Solutions as we seek to finish the next 2 sessions strong. We will be here until end of November, and then we are back again in January. We are closing for the holidays and coming back in January. So have yourselves a lovely evening, and let's see you next week, same time, same place, as we handle other matters of national importance, like building ourselves more financially and more career-wise. Asanteni sana and good night.